last man standing. 4-5 sitting on my dresser like a bandit. Oh my, why you scared? There ain't no need to panic. I ain't on the wave that could sink the tide.
This episode of Noonish is brought to you by JW Group. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, High Energy Models and Events. Tech for Troops, T4T, baby. Verve Performance Labs. The original shot sock, not without my shot socks. And Specs Wine, Spirits, and the Finer Foods.
Hello, everybody. What's going down? Maximus handled the punt. And we're here today for an exciting, what is this, 8th episode of Noonish?
Mm-hmm. This season.
3rd season. 8th episode of Noonish, man. And we are ready for a great show. First time, man, having a digital, man, this is like the Michael Buffer of digital fighting going on right here, bro. Like,
that was a good
you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Conor McGregor. So,
hey, nah, we might tell you to break a leg next time you go out, but we don't literally mean it, right? But no, I'm your host, J.A., a.k.a. Jonathan Anderson, man. Here with our awesome co-host, once again, starting with El Grande Antonio Jonas Bull. Hey. What's going on? And you know who it is over here.
Who's it?
It's Half Man. It's Half Amazing.
Who's August?
Always on time.
Like bullshit.
All hands. What'd you say? 1-2 Bayou.
I got
Bring it back, bro.
You can start and stop with that one.
Hey, Mr. Mark
Real
Clayton
talk.
in the building, man.
What up?
Coming back at
What
you.
up?
We're
What's good?
very excited, man. We tried to bring him last season. Hey, but we're here this season, man. It's about time. Right time for it, man. We got Mr. Michael Pratt in the house, man. Hey, this is the man behind the Digital Fight Club right here. So happy to have him in the building, man, for a great show. How you been?
I could not be better. I flew in from Europe on Sunday. I didn't even tell you that in the pre-show.
No.
Yeah, I spent 11 days running around Europe on vacation.
So yeah, I sent you an email and it was like, hey, I'll be back on 26th. Like,
I don't know if you know this, but email actually works in Europe and you can respond and people don't know where you are. It's crazy.
That is insane, man.
Some people call it digital.
Yeah.
So
I did that way next month myself.
And then I still responded. You thought this guy
bro. Like, this was legitimate, man. So how was your trip in Europe? Where'd you go?
Went to Germany. My wife is German heritage, and she wanted to spend her 50th birthday there. We spent some time in Prague. We were in the Alps. It was good. It was 70 degrees and sunny the whole time.
Did you drink a little beer?
I drank a lot of beer.
That's
there you
cool.
go.
I drank a lot of beer. It was Oktoberfest, even though they canceled Oktoberfest.
Oh, man.
The locals were out in force, and it was nice. Matter of fact,
that's
interestingly, all you had to do was show your Vax card. If you had a vaccination card, you got into any restaurant building or whatever like it was nothing. It was that was it.
That is awesome.
But if you didn't have a vaccination card, you weren't getting in anywhere.
So
So I could have rolled up at 13, like.
Yep.
So is the
In there.
population of Germany, is it a majority of them vaccinated over there?
I don't know what the percentage is, but I'll tell you what, the unvaccinated people aren't having much fun.
They're not drinking a lot of beer.
They're not going to bars, they're not going to restaurants. They're not even going to like little 7-Eleven type shops.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Retail? Like no retail?
Retail, you show your card.
Wow.
Everything.
Wow.
But no one seemed to complain about it. They just did it.
Yeah.
And it was like, whatever.
It is what it
was
is.
just open, #freedom.
Yeah.
It felt like there was no pandemic.
That's pretty incredible, man.
I thought so.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So happy to have you back in the U.S.
Glad to be here.
How was that flight?
9 hours. I watched like 11 episodes of Vikings.
Wow. Good show?
Oh, you never watched Vikings?
I haven't,
No,
man.
me
It's
neither.
just about sports with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Vikings is a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just about sports, right? Like,
Oh, sports and tech.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, so my imagination is kind of brutal, but I did. Well, what's the show everybody was watching last?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of
man.
Thrones. Oh,
you was a Game of Thrones?
Was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Well, then you'll like Vikings.
Yeah, I gotta check out Vikings.
Yeah, you should.
Same
It's a
channel.
Showtime show. No, it's Showtime.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
Showtime.
Showtime got some shows now. Yeah,
Billions.
Billions.
is my show.
Yeah, I'm on the Billions.
I can't.
I'm with the Billions.
Hey, man, like,
That's money.
We've got a lot we can talk about. I told you in the pre-show I was a trader for Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
traded against the
That
guy who's
Who's the show's written after?
show's written after.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Axelrod's
Bobby
real
Axelrod.
The real
life
Axelrod.
character is Stevie Cohen, and
Okay.
he ran SAC Capital. He did get fined by the SEC, just
Yeah.
like Bobby.
Yeah.
First of all, they deviated from his life about 6 episodes in.
Mhm.
And everything
Okay.
after that,
It's all Hollywood.
it's all Hollywood.
Gotcha.
That's
But
awesome.
but
Which
it's
makes
based
sense.
on him. And
Yeah.
I've
That's
done
crazy.
trades on the other side of the phone.
Is that the SEC, how they work? Was that realistic?
I don't know. I never had problems with the SEC, so I don't know, but I do know that they were after him big time.
On to Digital Fight Club, right? Let's talk about that a little bit.
All right,
Like,
so
I love it, bro. Like this was my first one experiencing it, and it's very different from the past, from what I understand, right? Because it was all virtual, and
yeah, there's a great story, if I might. I think because probably like the way Noonish was created, probably over a bottle of dessert whiskey like we have right here.
yeah,
That would be a cat-like name,
Yes.
right? Not the dog name would be it's damn fine whiskey,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I was running a small little organization called Digital Dallas, which was kind of like just a community organization. We did some events, we had happy hours. We kind of had a couple of bigger events. Started about 2009. It was just to help bring community together. There's lots of orgs like that, and trying to make things happen, get people together, network, blah blah blah. But it was getting old. I was getting tired of panels. I was getting tired of happy hours and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so I'm sitting at Common Table in Uptown, the bar, and with an investor in my software company.
Okay.
And South African dude, his name is Andrew Hopkins. He was running the IoT practice for Accenture at the time.
Mhm.
He's since retired, but he was kind of like saying, Accenture was, and I'm going to say Accenture, I mean, they bankrolled the original idea, and they've been a partner ever since.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's sitting there going, man, we got all these Fortune 500 clients. They want to be thought leaders. We put out a trends book called the Fjords Technology Trends Book, and it's like a beautiful coffee table book that just sits on your coffee table because nobody reads it, right? And he's like, how do we get people to read it? And I was like, sick of doing happy hours and panels, and I don't know how many beers in, we're like, why don't we just get some topics out of your book that nobody reads and make smart founder CEO types fight about it?
Yeah.
That was it.
Heck of an idea.
That was it.
But then putting it into action, right?
Well, he had a checkbook. That helped.
That
As you
always
know,
helps.
he underwrites it. We had an event in 2015 in the Granada Theater. We had about 500 people. We did not sell tickets. It was invite only. I wanted people that cared about technology and business and doers and things like that. And the format was, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break this everywhere we can break it. We're going to theme it. So Vegas boxing was always a fight theme. We don't want people thinking that they're at a conference or sitting at a panel,
For sure.
which are boring, by the way. So we had a Vegas boxing ring on the stage. Okay. We get the audience liquored up. The Granada Theater was important because there are no seats in the Granada Theater, and we had them bring in comedy club cabaret style round tables because I want the audience drinking and engaging and heckling and cheering and interacting. It's a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Then we got
That's the energy.
the energy.
Right.
I needed it really, really high.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Then we got CEOs and founders of technology companies around Dallas.
They got to bring their A game.
Guess what? Well, it's really important. I didn't want salespeople and I didn't want marketing people because they just sound like they're reading off a brochure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But CEOs and founders, they own it. They care about it.
These are the people that the seed came from. These people, so they can speak to it in a completely different light.
And they have egos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's important.
There's
Big
that.
time.
Yeah.
Really important.
Yeah.
So as fun as this all is, and I'm telling you, we got referees, and I'll tell you how that works. So super senior people, like we had the chief technology officer of AT&T. We had the CMO of Frito-Lay. We Mark Cuban's been a referee.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a story on that one. That was awesome. And Josh can affirm all this because he filmed every single one of them.
That's
All
awesome.
right,
Yeah,
so
and Josh Hurst, I just want to say, I want to kick a shout out to Josh, man. Josh Hurst over here, Hurst Digital, man.
Yeah.
That's my guy, man. We wouldn't have
Holding it
Noonish
down.
without Hurst, man, without this guy.
No, we wouldn't.
Man behind the plane. But
two shout outs for Josh, man. You're at your shout out
Yep.
limit.
Maxed out shout out.
That's shout out.
I think Sia had the shout out record.
So
Should be-
another
for-
important thing
for
on
sure.
the on the fights though. So we'd have a topic, and a typical topic might be like blockchain. Is it for real?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or is what's it going to be like in the future,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you get two blockchain experts, of course they think it's for real.
Yeah.
But what's it look like in the future?
Yeah.
They're going to bitch and argue about it, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So then we never would tell them like it was some old Oxford debate where we're like, you need to defend this position. You know,
Mm.
I would get them on the phone. And
Yeah.
this is one of my, aside from being the host, this is my second favorite thing to do. I get the two fighters on the phone, CEO and founder, whatever, and I go, guys, we're not getting off until you guys have picked a side.
Yeah.
And so this is how it
So
always
they
plays
can't
out.
agree. They can't be on the same side.
But I
Like, it
make
has
them
to-
talk until, because they need to walk away from the phone call knowing the side they're going to take.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So how do you get to that?
Mm-hmm.
So I would make them talk, and it always goes like this. Hey, Bob, nice to meet you. Jim, I was, yeah, you've done a lot in the sector. I see you guys are really big in blockchain. Yeah. He goes, I was thinking about this thing yesterday, and this came out, and this said this. He goes, no, that's bullshit. That's not how that works. I'm like, guys, we have our fight.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It takes about 3 minutes, and they're already disagreeing on something.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and then they own it.
Yeah.
So then,
Can I nominate someone real quick? Well, I mean, I
To
know
be a fighter?
I know blockchain is really not the purpose of you speaking about that.
that was
How
just
you
an
come
example.
about-
We have
Yeah.
fights on all sorts of topics.
I know, but next time you do have a blockchain expert, can you? I nominate this guy right here to be one of your.
You're a blockchain expert. You want to get on stage and fight another blockchain expert?
Yes.
Crypto. Yeah.
Or
But blockchain, but
cryptocurrency?
crypto on
All
currency.
right. All right.
On the currency.
Well, we'll get to the digital, the virtual version of it, but Houston is on October 26th, and there's a crypto fight, and DC is on November 17th.
In the
But
80s
it's-
now?
But it's
Let's
for
go.
it's for the fighters and the referees are all local.
Gotcha.
But there will
That's
be
cool.
more Dallas.
Okay.
Anyway,
Nice.
so that's how we get the two fighters to walk away knowing, okay, this, because if they walk on stage and they both are saying the same thing,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
a
don't
bad
work.
recipe.
Yeah, it don't work.
Yeah.
It
It don't
will
work.
not work.
Yeah.
This is way
No, you
too
gotta-
friendly. What
They
is
make
it?
fun. Yeah.
Hug it out.
That's
Like,
not a fight club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
enough.
yeah,
Love.
that's a-
So the referees
Love,
are always
love.
senior people.
Yeah.
One that's like a draw for the audience. They want to
Nice.
see referees. But the rule of thumb for a referee is if you have to run your fight through legal, you can't be a fighter.
Gotcha.
So like the CTO of AT&T, he can't say anything.
For sure.
Right? He's got to run
Yeah.
it through legal.
Oh yeah.
And so he just wants to look smart.
Yeah.
Okay. So we would bring the fighters on stage one at a time with like relief pitcher center field walk up music,
Dude.
and lights flashing and crazy stuff. And I put them on
Smoky lights.
stage practically naked.
Yeah.
They are standing. There's nothing to defend. There's nothing to stand behind.
Yeah.
I give them a hand mic, and they're just standing 2 feet from each other.
No cards.
No
prompter.
no cards, no prompts, no nothing.
Yeah.
Fight. Each fighter gets a 45-second open.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get a 30-second rebuttal, 30-second rebuttal. Then they get a second round of rebuttals, 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Then we get 2 questions from the referees,
Mhm.
and I prep the referees to call bullshit and to no softballs. Right? They are hard questions.
This is a lot of phone conversations that you're having prior to the actual fight.
Yeah.
A lot of
Because
crap.
how many
You just don't get on this show and wing it, do you? You got to put a lot of prep into it.
Wait, you know?
We started out
Now I
This is
understand
good.
why you got
Totally
the
winging
screwball.
it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. It makes
we
it very
learned
interesting.
our lesson by starting out winging it. That's-
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
So
first
it's
show
a
was
little more prep.
absolutely. Oscar didn't even know we were having a show that day.
Hot mic.
Yeah. So that's a ton of conversations. How many fights are you having per episode? Or does it vary?
There are 5. No, there's always 5. And
Okay.
it's magical. There's a bunch of magical things. So what I just described to you for a fight lasts about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's magical in my opinion because it's too long for you to just get by with sound bites. You got to put some meat on the bone of your
Oh
own.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's not so long that it drags out.
Yeah.
10 minutes, it's over. I haven't finished. The audience has an app and the reps have an app as well. And they vote
Mhm.
live, instant.
For sure.
So the reason it seems to work, because as fun as this all sounds, there has not been one. Let's say we've done 9, so that's 45 fights.
Yeah.
All right, in 9 events. Not one CEO on either side of the fight, so that's 90 fighters, has come in without guns blazing trying to win.
Yeah.
Their egos, they're founders, they don't like losing, and they're
Yeah.
really smart on their topic.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen somebody just get crushed?
Yeah, several times. There's several times that happened. And I'll explain that. Like, because we flash the percentage of votes up, and this was a 90-10. Most of them are usually between 60-40 and tighter.
Yeah,
So can the fighters
that's
see
tough.
the percentage?
Absolutely.
I love
Not only
it.
that, we show
We have the
progress
Apollo.
bars.
Boom.
Right?
Like-
You can see it moving, and then they're like, "There's hope, there's
Yeah.
hope," but then it
Yeah.
slides, and you're like, "Oh, I'm screwed."
Yeah.
But the audience is involved. If you land a really great point,
Mhm.
they're going to cheer.
Yeah, ding ding.
Yeah.
If you step on it, they're going to heckle you.
Yeah.
And so
That's
they're
awesome.
all nervous. The CEO, they're all nervous when they get on, and they're like, I'm like, they know their topic cold. They founded a company on it,
Yeah.
No matter.
and they are nervous.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Have you donned the stage?
Have I what?
Donned the stage before in a fight?
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
If you would you? And what topic?
I've always wanted to
Right.
be a fighter. It's an ego trip thrill just to be on there running the show. You have to,
No doubt.
I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to fight in my own sector, marketing technology, and software and all that. I
Right.
absolutely. I mean, hopefully my personality has already come across as this guy probably can fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
You know,
Like we're clear.
But
I
it's,
can
you
feel
know,
it.
I will admit that's the hardest thing to be is a fighter on stage.
Yeah,
My job,
no
is-
doubt.
Some people don't like being on stage, but y'all run a show, so
No,
it's like,
Yeah.
I like being on stage.
No doubt.
I like feeding. I like trying to be funny. Try to get the audience to laugh.
Yeah.
That's why you're a good host.
Well, I mean, I feel
Because you can
I feel
identify good people
yes.
that will be good on stage.
I will tell you. Asked about who got crushed. I don't want to say names. All right, I don't.
Yeah.
Say it. Say it. Say it.
So let me tell you what happened. It was the second ever Fight Club. So anybody can look it up. But
Yeah. Which round was it?
I don't remember which round it was. But the fight was about digital storytelling.
Okay.
Okay, and the topic was who controls the narrative, the consumer
Uh-huh.
or the brand.
That's
Okay,
good.
so we had a guy against a woman. And the guy ran a branding agency that did animations for really big brands, really cool shot.
Yeah.
The woman was ex-Pepsi, who did machine learning on consumer data sets. So she took the consumer controls the narrative, and he took the
course.
brand. Right?
Ooh.
Great fight.
100%.
Great
Consumer
fight.
all day, every day.
So
That's
if you know
crazy.
anything about video games,
Yeah.
you know about controlled narratives where you're the player, like in Halo or whatever, and you think
Right.
you're charting your own course, but the game's guiding you.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
You just don't
Oh, yeah.
feel like the game's guiding you.
But yeah,
And they'll even give you a couple
1000%.
options here.
Yeah. One or two.
Choose
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Right. But he went down that path and he brought out the original controlled narrative game of Dungeons and Dragons as an example.
Okay.
And he whips out a character. I'm not a Dungeons guy. He whips out a character, describes its power almost like Pokemon fashion or
Sure,
whatever,
sure.
and describes about the control and it was a good example. But then he kind of threw a sentence in there. I wonder if Josh remembers this. You remember, he threw a sentence in there that kind of implied that she wouldn't know what he was talking about because she was a girl.
Oh, can't do
Now, the audience reacted
do it.
just like you
it.
did.
Yeah.
And that was even better.
Yeah.
She was a Dungeons and Dragon master.
Oh,
Oh.
my God.
So she brings out the character that defeats his character.
Oh, God.
Trumps on her. I was like, damn.
Yo.
Oh, thank you.
The fight didn't matter.
You
That
know
one.
what
It was
the-
90-10.
The King Koopa Club.
It was over. It was over.
Oh, I bet that was
It
great.
was over.
So you got quite the background, man. So from New York, right?
Yep.
West Point, right?
Yep.
Right. Did you serve in the army? Or?
I did. I got out after the first Gulf War.
Okay.
So after that war was over, I got out and went to grad school. I went to Duke.
Yeah.
So I wrote you that email, and I was like, if he sees the list of teams that I like, he's gonna be like, "You're so full of crap."
Hey,
All you
man.
do is like all the America's teams.
Front runner.
Because
Yeah.
so my dad was in Vietnam, and we lived in Texas.
Yeah.
And Don Meredith was. And I'm older than you might
Oh.
think. And Don Meredith was the quarterback of the Cowboys. And
Yeah.
I became a Cowboy fan.
And I'm just like, how the heck does nobody from New York likes the Cowboys?
I'm not even from New
They're
York.
the Jets Giants.
I'm not
So where
New
you
York.
from?
My dad was in the army too.
Oh, so you were around. You
Yes, we moved everywhere.
Got you.
He's
Okay.
actually born and raised.
Well,
in New York.
America's team. I get it. America's team. You know, I try to tell you every week, Mark, this is America's team.
They're like you saying about the branding thing, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the product is, don't matter. As long as that brand is amazing, you'll deal with the product.
That's right.
Yeah,
So-
well,
so
I'm still
great
trying to
brand,
fix that the Baltimore
great brand.
football team is
Amazing brand.
are called the Colts.
The Colts, yeah.
Hey, you
So
know?
forgive me.
The Edgar Allan Poe. So-
Right.
Man, so that's pretty incredible. So, did you go straight into the military as an officer?
Yeah,
That's awesome, bro.
yeah. 87 to 92. Then I got out. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So what do you do when you don't know what you want to do? You go back to school.
Yeah.
So I went to school, and I went back to school, and then I got a job on Wall Street.
Nice.
I did that for a long, long time, and then we moved to Dallas. I have two sons. Both were dyslexic, and Dallas has the best school for dyslexia here, Shelton School.
Nice.
They do
that's what's up.
Scottish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And great.
Shout out Shelton.
I
I
actually
didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that at all. So how long have you been in Dallas?
Since 2009.
Really?
So 12 years.
Not very long, but long enough.
A lot's going on in 12 years, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like, think about what didn't exist in Dallas.
A decade is a lot.
Clyde Warren,
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep Ellum was basically tattoo shops.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
It's a
Now
whole
it
nother
looks
world.
like Uptown.
It's a whole nother world. Yep.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
want them to take Deep Ellum away from Deep
No,
Ellum, but it looks like it's heading that way.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. But I mean,
It's nice.
it's nice.
I'm
Oh, I agree. It's
Yeah.
And if you're 22,
I'll have
it's
to-
the bomb digger.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Or 42.
I wish.
It's still the bomb diggity.
looking for 22.
And that's about
Like,
right.
you still the bomb diggity. Right.
That's right. It just,
know.
it just doesn't happen at the Rattlesnake Bar. It happens elsewhere too, right?
Yeah, man.
Although Rattlesnake Bar is more like 82 looking for 42.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that's your spot?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah, man. Man. In Germany, hanging out, drinking Das Boot. So far we've talked about what the atmosphere is like
In real
in the
life.
building,
Yeah.
right? At the Granada. Right? We're getting to set the stage, set the theme. 2020 hits. How did that affect you, and how did you overcome what happened with COVID in 2020?
I drink a lot.
Yeah.
The magic of Fight Club was the reality of live.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And one day, and I, it's one of those things where someone just says something and drops serendipity right in your lap. It was a woman named Jennifer Sines, and she at the time was CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of Frito-Lay.
Okay.
She went on to become president of Pepsi, and she has left for some giant company now. I don't know what she's doing, but Pepsi president, not chunks, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So she comes up to me at the after party, and she says, and I'm not even mincing words. She says, marketing is hard, and I got about $1 billion of media budget that I spend amongst 30, 40 agencies, and whenever I ask them hard questions, like should I spend money on TikTok or Snapchat, they just kiss my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was chuckling a little bit, but like, you're right. I'm like, I used to be an agency CEO, and I never kissed ass when, people with $1 billion to spend came up to me. Right? So she goes, couldn't I just tell you what I'm struggling with and have you have agency CEOs fight on stage?
Wow.
And I thought, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute. You're saying you have an idea on how I could get a room full of my customer candidates, because we sell to agencies.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a marketing fight club on February 28th, 2020. It was the last in-person fight club we ever did.
That is incredible. So
It was sad
That's great.
because we did the fight club on February 28th. And as you know, 2 weeks later,
2 weeks
Dallas
later,
is in
yeah.
lockdown.
Yeah.
And so we're like, what are we going to do? And we didn't know what it looked like. So we just sat on it and did nothing for a year.
Probably the best thing to do.
If you don't know what to do nothing.
And sit down and
Think about it.
just sit.
Yeah, that's what we did. We sat. And of course, it always helps when someone with a checkbook comes up and gives you an idea.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And pushes something on you, basically.
For sure. So they come to me January of 21 and said, all right, we'd like you to take a look at a platform one of our Belgian offices built for the Tomorrowland Festival, like Coachella.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have Tomorrowland last year. They had this kind of hybrid. And so it's apparently on a lake in Belgium. And so they had the stage set up just like the festival as always, but the lawn was empty. And on this lake, they sold 58-person rowboats.
Wow.
So you could take seven
That is sick.
of your friends and party your ass
That
off
is
and watch
sick,
the
bro.
festival.
Yeah.
Hell, I'd do that.
That is sick. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm down.
But that's only 400 people.
Yeah.
So they
We were on
said to
couches.
me,
Yeah. Okay.
what if we gave you all the dev resources you needed to tweak this platform to recapture the live vibe of Digital Fight Club on this platform?
Yeah.
So for 6 months, their Belgian team and us, we worked together on how do we adjust this to make it like Digital Fight Club?
Yeah.
So we brought in a voting feature. We turned it into pink sofas. Our branding's pink. And so we had pink 8-person couches.
Yep.
And you could throw tomatoes at the fighters. And I had a production crew, my production crew, which is the Event Nerd. Shout out to Damani Daniel and the Event Nerd. He's produced me for 10 years. And I went to Damani's studio down in Deep Ellum. In a green screen and multiple monitors and feeds coming in from the fighters and all the referees. The audience was online in the platform interacting. And I got to tell you, you watched it.
It was pretty amazing.
You haven't been to the real life one, but my wife and others that have told me that it's pretty damn close.
Yeah, it was. Like I didn't know what to expect. It was my first digital fight club. I found, I started out on the couch in the living room with my headphones in, and by the second fight, bro, I moved to my office and I was locked in.
That's really great to hear.
Yeah, because I was really enjoying what was taking place.
You watched the Atlanta one?
No, I watched the Dallas.
You watched the Dallas one?
Dallas one, yeah.
Well, then
that was early on.
Then you're really kind because we had the technology screw up,
Yeah, it did. And we I was a little
thank God.
Minor technology.
Man, I was
like,
sweating
something wrong
bullets.
right now?
Yeah, it was something wrong. Pro tip, don't give your cell phone number out as tech support. I want a hybrid.
Yes,
I don't think I've got
I was going to bring it up.
I don't think I've got the money, but if somebody wants to throw the money, I want to go back to Granada, and I want all the online people to feel like they're in the Granada, and I want all the people in the Granada to feel like they're interacting with the online people.
Right.
I don't know what that looks like.
You gotta have a conversation with the right person. This is as awesome as I thought it was going to be. Right, very entertaining. You have to be in order to. You got to be an engaging person.
Yeah.
To engage an audience virtually for dang sure, but
to also handle the conversation with you.
Yeah, man. I take it.
Takes a lot of engagement.
Yeah, bro.
You got it.
I'll take you here, there, and everywhere in the conversation, man, on purpose, right? But
where do you want to take it now? Let's go.
I don't know if you've seen the show, but we are sports and technology, so we're gonna dive into the sports section of this a little bit.
Let's do it.
Added a couple topics solely for you, but hey, you can give a little input into this first topic.
I can hang. I'll take my old person glasses and we'll make it rock.
Like Jimmy said, how about those Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
God bless. How about those Cowboys?
Man, so Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Cowboys versus Eagles. What a show those Cowboys put on, Mark. I mean, how'd you feel about that, man?
I picked Dallas to win.
Okay.
Well, don't hold that win so highly. Now. It was a good win. It was a great win. I thought they were by far the better team. Yes. Not even close. And they're much improved. But, we got a ways to go.
Yeah.
They're doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah. It's good.
Carolina prediction?
Oh, Cowboys.
Man. That's a test.
I don't know.
1,000%. You don't know? Have you seen Carolina D-line?
We got a digital fight.
So
Facts.
So the D-line, they're solid. They're solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're solid.
Yep.
I got nothing bad to say
it's gonna be work.
Defense.
Yep.
But pick six, Carolina's Carolina's schedule is about as good as what Army's playing so far.
Wow.
Like they haven't played anybody yet.
They haven't?
Carolina, who they played so
Who
far?
have they played?
Right.
They had no.
Didn't they lose to somebody?
No, they're undefeated.
They played the Jets.
They won convincingly.
They played the Patriots. Right? Did they play the Patriots?
Decisive win. They did. Yep.
Oh, that's right.
And
that was
I don't know who it was this past weekend.
They played
New Orleans. Decisive victory.
And New Orleans is nobody's sure about New Orleans.
Yeah, we don't know what they are.
Right?
Yeah, we don't
Let's
know.
go in not cocky. Let's go in nervous and concerned where we keep our game
Yep.
sharp.
Yeah.
I'm not cocky. It's
So
NFL.
like this.
Not you. I'm at the team.
Oh yeah.
The team,
any given
I feel
Sunday.
like y'all should be in everything is grinding.
Very
Like you're reestablishing something because it's tough because the marketing for Dallas is amazing. Like the brand is amazing. Like they're set when it comes to the applause. Like they don't need like they're good.
Yeah.
But that also you at a time because you think you got it.
Yeah.
Every year. Oh, we're going to Super like and they'll feel that too.
Yeah.
No, they got work to do.
Yeah.
Like a lot of work to
Come
do.
in feeling the same way Cowboys
They do not at all.
So the Ravens.
Ravens.
All right, we'll move on past Cowboys. Cowboys, great job this past weekend beating Philly. We got game 4 focus this week, please. Thank you.
Big game. Big game.
Ravens, man.
Yep.
So 66-yard kick. And you were in the building.
Yep.
Incredible, bro.
Period.
What were you thinking at the time? When they lined up for a 66-yard field goal, we were like, this game's over. We took an L to the line.
No. You know who's kicking?
Oh, I know who Justin Tucker is. That's one of my favorite kickers in the league. Like,
Yeah.
I give all respect to that guy.
Yeah, if there was any odds to make that, he was going to. He's like in the probably one or two guys in the league that is likely.
Yeah.
No, but what were you really thinking? Like,
Yeah.
he might make this.
Might
I
make
think
it.
He can. Please make it.
Like might make like oh no, I'm with it. I've seen him hit. He can hit a 70.
Was the crowd like dead silent when the ball was in there?
Yes.
If the crowd had been yelling,
that was cool.
Think it would have blown the ball back just enough to not make it?
No, they were. I mean, prior to it should have been enough gusts. Maybe that side of this, we talked about wind, maybe that side was yelling a lot more than that side. And it gave him the extra. Like, I don't know.
He had a breath advantage.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They had done something. Yeah, if you're in Detroit, you got to do all you can do to get a win. And that's including fans, bro.
Absolutely.
They have the worst luck in the world, bro.
They know it. They know it. They're like, if we were going to lose a game, we were going to lose it to something like that.
Like seriously, are they okay?
Detroit's a solid squad. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, they played Green Bay very well. The turnovers took them out of the game the week before. But no, Detroit's a solid squad.
And Rams and the Bucs was a great game.
It's a great game.
Right? Rams are really good. As we thought they would be.
Right? Super Bowl.
Solid defense. Yes, your pick.
Super Bowl. I was like, dog, they got it.
Who's your NFC pick?
The Rams.
Oh, so you just
said,
who's your NFC pick?
I was it was hard.
You went with Chiefs.
I went with Chiefs. I'd actually over the Ravens.
The Saints and Patriots again. Jonas came out. I mean, the Patriots. We don't know who they are yet. They still got a young quarterback. James, we don't know what they are with the Saints.
Yeah, there's a lot of we don't know what they are yet.
Yeah, it's still
unsure about everything.
First 4 games,
Chiefs lost to the Chargers. That was another great game this weekend, and that's a tough division he's going to have to go in.
Very tough.
Denver's 3-0 right now. Very weak game so far at this point, but they're still 3-0, leading the division with the Raiders as well, who's 3-0, and they look really good this year.
Yep.
So that's NFL. On to the NCAA. OU, what is going on? Spencer Rattler, are they going to make a change of quarterback?
Alert. Spencer Rattler will be put on the bench soon. Seriously,
you got an insight.
They struggle.
Yeah.
Spring game, I went to the spring game. I was like, you know what? I don't see any development.
That kid from DC is legit.
And I was like, exactly. I was like, I don't know. Like, Caleb, poise.
Yes.
Decision making, sharp. And he knows what I'm going to do. And when it breaks down, he is more under control than Spencer to me.
Yeah.
That was my observation back then.
Yeah.
Here we are in the season. I'm still seeing the same thing. I don't like Spencer's decision making, especially under pressure.
Why is the coach sticking with Spencer so strong?
He's the guy. He brought him. There's no telling what those conversations was like. Him coming in, I don't know. But at the end of the day, when you go with a guy, you ride with him to a certain point.
Even let the rest of your team down. Like, come on now.
How's it let the rest of the team down?
I'm losing 16 or winning 16-13 in West Virginia.
Oh, you're talking about with
7-6.
Your leader let the team down.
Yes. Are you willing to lose
to a certain extent?
No,
we're on the verge of that. There's no bad wins.
There's got to be whispers in the locker room. They know who's back and forth.
Absolutely, yes. So we would all in the locker room be like, "Yeah, duh."
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when the coach, when they stick by you, they're behind you until it's just they won. Okay, like you're a quarterback. We're winning games, but we know this is not enough for championship. We're talking about winning championships. This is not championship football. We're not there. Therefore, to that point, I think there's going to come a time, and it's going to be a bad game, a bad game. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we got whooped by once we got to Cotton Bowl in Norman. 18, 20.
But Notre Dame, on the other hand, my boy.
Yeah.
I like teams that schedule tough games.
Hey, and they
handling up.
Alabama not
Handling up.
Not this year.
They're handling
up. This was the closest blowout I've ever seen in my life. Right? It was 13-10 at the end of the third, and Notre Dame was not winning. 13-10, and they weren't winning towards the end of the third.
That's
they
crazy.
were not winning the game.
That's
13-10, and they won this game 41-13.
Yeah, that's crazy. Talk about busted wide
So
open.
they busted in the fourth.
They busted
They
wide
had 2
open.
pick sixes in the fourth.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like they just busted the game wide open. They took advantage of mistakes. And
That's
I
what
know
good teams do.
looks real good.
That's
That
what good teams
41-13
do.
looks a lot better than it felt. I'll tell you that much because it was a real close game.
Yeah.
You know, people just looking at the score would not realize how close that game was.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think Wisconsin's better than they looked by that score?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Wisconsin is not a bad football team.
Well, in 2 weeks, they're going to have to go up against a team that only gives about 12 to 13 minutes of offense to any team they play.
And that's our next
As a
conversation.
segue.
Homie.
12 to
Miami,
13
Ohio.
minutes of offense.
And how would you do
Averaging
that?
39 minutes of possession.
How do you? That's called ball control.
That
That's
is
all 4
true.
yards average every play.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but 4 times 3
3 is a
12.
first down.
First down.
It's annoying.
But yeah, and around about
tiring.
yeah,
That
that's
too.
what I'm saying, right around the
That
end of
too.
the first,
Tired.
middle of the second, you're tired of hitting these dudes, bro.
Right.
You're like, bruh,
It's
like,
downhill.
it's just straight
Boom.
nasty Baltimore Ravens
Again.
style football.
Cut blocks.
Just
Cut
grimy.
Not just
Cut blocks.
standing you up
Oh
like
my
this.
God.
Yes, like it is some
Woo.
grimy football. but
Again.
it is extremely effective, and it is run by so few teams
Yeah.
in the league.
Yeah.
Like
You can't prep for
it's
it.
a shock. It's a shock to the
It's
system.
tough.
You can practice for it all week, but you're not the guys that excel. They execute to the top level of execution at this.
Yep.
That's tough to prepare for.
It is.
I
But
was a skinny
I'll tell-
linebacker for about 2 years. And
So you
I
played the
was-
football?
Yeah, but like in Pop Warner level,
Okay.
kind of stuff like that. Like, because look at me, I'm skinny. But I will say something. But you didn't play linebacker.
That's a Humpty Dance.
But you
and
played
Pop reference right there.
Pop
Look at me, I'm skinny. It never stopped me from getting busy.
linebackers against us
Mhm.
struggle big time because the only way to beat us is with assignment football. And you don't, and the next thing you know,
Squirrel.
how he get the ball?
Right? Yeah. Or where is the
And you're
ball?
embarrassed.
Like where is the ball?
Where's
Like
it?
straight up is the
What?
main thing. Like where's the
Your
ball?
eyes, bro.
And as a linebacker, you have to constantly run to his fullback, knowing that he's not going to have the ball, but you have to do it in order to
Because he
free up
could have
everybody
the ball.
else.
That's why we've won
So-
every game by at least 21 points. We're 4-0. We should handily beat Ball State, be 5-0, going into Madison against Wisconsin, where that's it. We come out of Wisconsin with a win, and we're in the top 25.
Is that going to win a national championship?
No, it never will,
Why not?
Back in the 20s,
because we're not going to have a 360-pound offensive tackle
Is it
ever,
a tackle
or line
or D lineman?
D lineman or
Any of
anything,
those
or any of
positions.
the above. As long as we go 9-2, 10-1, get to a solid bowl game, finish in the top 25. If we're lucky, we knock off a top 10 to 15
Right.
team, or
Right.
we make them shit their pants because
Right,
they were
right.
so nervous and they can't believe
They're
it.
going overtime. Yeah.
And consider
Exactly. Exactly.
Michigan beat us in overtime last year.
Yeah.
You guys beat us in
Oh,
overtime
cool.
2 years
Yep.
ago. And we're going to LSU in 2 years. I forget who we have next year. We lost to Penn State 17-14-3 before OU.
Right.
And nobody wants to play us,
Wow.
which I like.
Yeah. Because they gotta
That says a lot.
Like they have to get out of
Says a lot.
They have to forget everything they've taught.
Oh, for
you
sure.
can't
We
run a
gotta-
4-3
For one game.
for one game. So Texas beat Texas Tech, blowout fashion. New quarterback's doing what we thought he was going to do. 70-35. You beat TCU. Should SMU be in the Big 12?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. Jackson State, they went out this week and they won this week. This is I didn't change this. They went out and beat Delta State. They beat Delta State this week. That's a big win for them, even though Delta State not D1. Still a big win for them. Delta State.
So that's a big win for Jackson State.
Yeah, that's a big win for them. On to the MLB.
Yep.
Moving on. New York Yankees. We'll talk about the Yankees, man. We'll highlight those guys. They're up 2. They got +2 in the wild card race. And so much better than what they were doing at the beginning of the season. Like they were in the bottom of the East starting out, like for a while. Right?
Look, if you take all the teams that make the playoffs this year,
Mhm.
and if we're one, we're 2 up with 5 left.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be an honest Yankee fan.
And
I
that's-
want us to win. Our pitching is decent.
Yeah.
Our hitting's phenomenal.
Mhm.
But
Now.
but we're not LA and we're not San Francisco.
Well,
we're
bro,
not
like,
Tampa.
I mean, it's hard to say that because the lineup is absolutely electric. Now that they have some lefties.
5 pitchers that are on.
For sure. No
Period.
doubt about that.
Period.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And as a hitter, like, I hate it. But,
I mean, Giancarlo
Uh,
Stanton just tied Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Willie Mays for the most 4 home runs in a 4-game home run, boom, 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 in streaks in history.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But he should. Dude, 6'5", 240.
Absolutely.
He's a piece.
Like, he's big as Gronk.
Absolutely.
And his teammates bigger than Gronk.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge. Right? So they have the firepower on offense to do it. Now, the offense, they also have a lot of strikeouts cumulatively. Between that, like, those guys can strike out with the best of them. Like, straight up.
Bottom line is, we're going to win if we streak.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. If they get hot at the right time,
That's it.
those guys won't miss pitches and they will hit them really far. On to Tech Talk with Jonas. What's up, Jay? What you got for us this week, baby?
Maybe we can set up some more digital Fight Club.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
with
set
this,
up all you
some of
want.
these
I'm here.
things, right? Apparently, somebody has hooked up a hamster. Has hooked up the hamster wheel so that it's, I guess I haven't
That's
actually
powering.
seen a picture of it, right? But apparently they have the hamster wheel hooked up so that it is like where it stops, this picks the trade, right? So the hamster is getting on the hamster wheel and running, and when it's basically it's picking the trades on the
From the hamster wheel?
from the hamster wheel, yeah.
Mark Ramirez, I hope you're watching this right now,
Right.
by the way.
Yeah. So, so, I mean, okay, that's somebody came up with a crazy idea. That's not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is the hamster is outperforming the S&P 500 in terms of profitability.
And speaking of what?
Yeah.
Speaking of crypto, right?
It's picking crypto, yeah.
It's picking crypto? Yeah. I mean, it's possible. This is a lot more volatility in the
There's
crypto market.
there's
Therefore, there's a lot more money to be
The
made.
hamsters are smarter than people.
But there's a
give
lot more
credit.
money to be lost at the same time.
Like, I get tired of an argument. My brother's like, hey, you know how volatile crypto is? I'm like, that's the point.
Exactly.
You know, like, we're
Yeah.
looking for risk here in
Yep.
crypto. Like,
Yep.
you're going to make more.
You are going to
So
get
volatility
it.
is
If you know how
about
to. Yeah,
So bet on the hamster.
for sure.
Yeah. Bet on the hamster, bro.
Taking bids.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hook up my own
No.
hamster to the thing and just.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could do like a hamster mining situation.
Let's burst the bubble of Mr. Hamster.
Yeah. Let's hear about this.
I would
You
love
sat
to
back
hear
and
about
got
this.
I'm waiting for this, bro.
Well, I traded on the.
I've been looking at his face over
arguably
there.
the best trading desk on Wall Street, only Goldman Sachs in New York ran a sector, and I do feel confident in saying that I know the mechanisms of the trading process and what goes into all the factors that go into a price of an object that's traded. So in this case, the S&P.
Mhm.
It could be crypto. It could be a tulip in 1614 and high.
Yep.
It's all the same. It's a collection of the aggregation of beliefs by all the players as to the future prospects of the object being traded. So in this case, the S&P 500, coupled with the supply and demand equation of both all those players and the security itself.
So the market and availability.
All that is it. But it's a collection, it's an aggregation of beliefs. If everybody believes one thing, it's going to be reflected in the price.
Yeah.
So what do we have here? We have a hamster who's spinning a wheel that stops randomly.
Yeah.
And by the way, randomly will beat the S&P 500 occasionally.
Yeah.
But if you did 1,000 hamster experiments, it won't.
Gotcha.
So they did one, and lately he's been doing it. Great. Do it 1,000 times. Anybody that bets on, I want to bet against the guy that bets on the hamster.
2 years.
Yeah.
Show me that guy.
5 years.
I'm going to take
That's what digital fight club's all
I'm
about
gonna
right
take
there,
100%.
man.
I'm going to take
I love
100%.
it.
Well,
Really?
so I think we should get this out of the way.
Against crypto, though. I'm sorry. I didn't-
Yeah, right. Well, that was actually
Well,
exactly where I was
you can
going.
give- I tell you what, I'll let you pick the security that the hamsters trades.
Right.
So it's a security or a crypto?
Same thing.
currency?
But I'm using security as a generic term for whatever the hamster's picking.
Well, see, that's the whole problem with XRP right now. Because it's not a security.
The market as a whole.
No. I mean, it's a thing that's traded that can be bought and
A thing
sold.
that's
For sure.
I'm using the word
Oh,
security.
That's why-
to describe that.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about like the tulips.
That's why it's an object.
Yeah.
It could be
It's
anything.
an
Could be
object
could be
For
could be
sure.
a baseball
For
card.
sure. For sure.
And liquidity of the object,
Yeah.
how many, how
Exchanges.
fungible, how exchangeable
Yeah.
and fungible is the
Yeah.
object? All
Yeah.
of those play into
The
that,
matter.
right?
Absolutely.
But I think you nailed what I would call the what I would say is one of the most important factors You said it. The first thing you said, it's a belief system about the object.
The market.
So all supply and demand matter, 100%.
Yep.
Fungibility,
Yep.
100% matters, big time. But what you believe about the fungibility, what you believe about the supply and demand, not just what you believe, but what you believe that everybody else believes, matters almost as much as the actual fundamentals. Because people start believing that other people believe
That is value.
that it's valuable. We have seen this over and over again, especially in the crypto market, and more recently in the GameStop craziness and all that, where people start believing that everybody else believes that this is going to happen, so they act on it. And as a result of that action, something moves one way or the other. It doesn't have anything to do with anything that the business is doing or the cryptocurrency is doing. It has to do with what everybody believes that everybody else believes.
So is it good to be a follower?
It could pay.
I mean, I think
Is it good to be a
could pay.
follower?
It
In
could
marketing,
pay.
it is, right? You
It could
like jumping on the trends,
Yeah. I mean,
right? It's good in
it could
marketing, but we're talking about money here. Is it
If
good to
you
be a
define follower as I identify a trend and trade on that trend, then by definition you are a follower, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? You're a trend surfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Fine.
for sure.
Right. That's fine. But consider this. Let's take the reverse now and segue into the second part of your conversation, which was supply chain. Okay.
Right.
So a bazillion companies trade publicly in the supply chain.
Right.
There's enough that trade publicly that you can actually do an assessment in reverse on what the world in aggregate thinks of the supply chain problem. Doesn't mean that that's what the supply chain problem is.
Right.
It's what they think. So consider this: take the stock price of a contract chip manufacturer in China or anybody else. They're all public.
So
JLL,
TSMC,
JLL, or
JLL.
JLL. Okay.
Yeah.
So JLL is, and I haven't even done this. I haven't looked in years, but JLL trades it at a price.
Right.
Okay. And that price can be looked at in terms of all the metrics. It's price to book, it's price to future orders, it's price to earnings, all that sort of stuff. EBITDA, and if you know what you're doing, you know that maybe this sector, like I traded the entertainment sector, which always trades on EBITDA. It doesn't trade on earnings.
Right.
So you got to know things like that, right? And then you look and you say, well, for example, Clear Channel, radio company, right? They always traded between 10 and 15 EBITDA. When they got up to 15, all the value players would come in and sell it. When it got down to 10, they would all come in and buy it, like clockwork, because that's how they value these companies. So I could look at it and say what people are thinking about it right now, what they might do. But then you have to add in the unknowns, which are, well, is there a frenzy going on in this particular market? Is it frothy? Is there is that kind of thing? Is it a liquid stock or is it illiquid? Right. When you add all that together, you could actually reverse engineer what people think of the supply chain problem. Oh, these guys are trading rich in this sector, but the chip guys are trading weak here. So everybody thinks that they're going to get screwed. You add that all, people do this for a living.
Oh, yeah.
And then they go out and buy and sell based upon that.
Yeah.
Right.
So is it perfectly priced? Maybe, maybe not. The bottom line is that all people trade based upon what they think on whether the object is priced properly or not. If you think it's priced too high, you sell it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. If it's too low,
if you think it's priced too low, you buy it.
Well, I think there's a nuance there though that I think you're meaning this, but you're not saying.
I wasn't complete and everything, so I'm sure I missed.
So, but I think this is an important nuance. Is that when you say that you think that if you think it's priced right, that doesn't necessarily equate to priced right for the fundamental of the business, whether that's building cars or.
I meant generically right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing. So when well, let's think of some recent.
Because Tesla's a good example of this because they're trading at what, like 50 times.
Rich. It's too rich.
Yeah.
When you say it's
insane. Yeah.
It's too rich for against normal standards for an automobile company, even a growth automobile company.
Right.
On the other hand, that ignores the fact that there is a momentum created by the interest in that company for long-term growth that
First
are
to
making
market.
it trade.
Right.
richer than that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're a momentum trader, you spend your entire day looking for signs of momentum, and there are plenty.
So is that considered to be a day trader?
Well, a day trader is.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well,
like,
yeah.
could you
Day
say
traders tend to be momentum traders.
Yeah.
But they're not the same thing. A day trader
Gotcha.
just flips his position in and out
Yeah,
on a daily
for
basis.
sure. For sure.
But you could be a day trader and trade spreads,
Gotcha.
right?
Gotcha.
Between different tranches of General Motors bonds,
Yeah.
right?
For
And
sure.
you just unwind at the end of the day.
But typically, like they are
Day
momentum
traders are
traders.
typically schmoes, in Long Island that are chasing stocks like Ben Affleck in the boiler room. So, identifying that, and that's what you live, and that's your role in the ecosystem. But for example, when I traded for Goldman, we didn't day trade,
Right.
but I had to know what the day traders were doing, and they weren't telling me.
Right.
So how did I figure it out?
Yeah.
You had to watch the stock.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? And how much did you like that movie, or did you?
I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street was a great movie. It was almost entirely true.
Did you find yourself doing that number right there?
No, he was the schmo in Long Island I just talked about. But those are bad guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bad guys. And they could never
All about
make
the
it on a
buck.
major Wall Street house.
Yeah.
And he's just running some schmo podcast now, isn't he? Like probably fleecing old ladies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
He's
so.
not your uncle, is he?
No.
Maybe
No, not at all. I don't even really know
man.
for sure. But yeah, I think he does have a podcast actually.
That's great.
Not that that's anything special.
Right.
And when
I
you're
love
Wall Street, one last thing
podcasts.
I'll say is you pick a side to trade from almost
Right.
always in your style. You're either a long trader or a short trader. And that doesn't mean that you're still buying and selling.
Right.
But what it means is it describes the side of the market that you enter the trade from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay? I was always a long trader. I did not like being a short side trader.
Got you.
A short side trader starts with the short
Mm-hmm.
and then covers, right, to
Right.
make a profit or unwind his position at a loss. A long side trader goes long first and then sells the long.
Well, you're a visionary, right?
Right? No. There's just as many long and short side traders. It takes different kinds of, like for example,
I'm saying you specifically.
visionary.
Yeah.
Nah. Here's a rule of thumb I have in life.
Yeah.
Anybody who is a visionary never calls themselves a visionary. Never accepts it and never describes. Did Steve Jobs go around going, "Hey man, I'm a visionary"?
Yeah.
No, he just was.
Yeah.
I think he probably did in private.
Yeah.
I think in his back of his mind he probably did.
We're on rants and big beats, man. You know what really drives me nuts? Is people that put like visionary, futurist.
What?
Is that why you didn't accept my LinkedIn request because of my cover page?
You're a visionary futurist. I'm like,
I didn't say
I
that.
don't know. What is a futurist? There are people that put it on their LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, well, I got visionary on mine, bro. Like, but I've noticed these things, man. I saw this when I was 5.
Take it off.
Take it off?
Free pro tip today. Take it off. Let other people call you visionary.
That's actually.
How do you do that?
I'll tell you this for free too. That's the second or possibly third time I've heard that in 2 days.
Wow.
Well,
In 2 days?
That just makes it true.
Yeah.
Right.
Jeez, bro.
In this
Well,
2021,
that's confirmation.
And two of them were on the
Well,
internet.
I don't call myself a visionary, but there is a picture that points to the.
It's
You don't
okay.
call
It's a
yourself-
compass that points to
Judging
the
you.
visionary.
And we still
Right.
love you.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I didn't call myself
This
that.
is called truth wrapped in love.
I love it. I need that. This is like a section for me.
I'll tell you, you didn't write that. Somebody else wrote it for you.
There's a picture that I posted.
That somebody else did for you.
No, I did that.
Oh.
I liked it.
I'll tell you this: when I heard somebody say that yesterday, and put it almost word for word, it's eerie.
Smart guy.
Well, you almost listen to the same podcast. Like,
It may be. But I got to thinking. I think that word's on my resume somewhere. I went through and word searched it.
Yeah.
I word searched for it, and sure enough, it was way down in there, but it was in there. I'm like, no, that's gone.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I'm making a change. I'm making a change.
I mean,
today.
it's one of those things. Somebody had said that somewhere along the way, and I said, that sounds good.
If I got nothing else out of this podcast and this broadcast right now,
Yeah.
I'm changing my LinkedIn today.
We're here
So,
to
have you enjoyed yourself today?
like almost better than the European vacation I just took.
Straight up.
No.
The only thing that would have made it better is if you were on the European vacation with me.
Damn! I should have taken a backpack. I'd have been good, bro.
Getting that wide.
Yeah.
Brought my glass boot.
Oh, yeah.
Glass boot. No, man. very much so appreciative of you coming on today, man. I can't even tell you, like, this turned out so much better than I even imagined, right?
Especially after you explained why you kept saying Das Boot.
Das Boot, man, yeah, bro. Great movie. You gotta know about that movie, right? I can't think of the
Das
name
Boot
of
is
it.
about a boat.
It's called Das Boot.
Is it
The
Das
movie's
Boot?
called Das Boot?
The boat.
The boat.
It's about a submarine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
I thought it was about
I was talking about
the boot, like a
It's
real,
about drinking out
a
of
real fucking boot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a boot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a little prissy, but that's cool.
the movie. I'm talking.
You want to drink out of a glass boot, Cinderella? You go.
Hey,
right
y'all took it way. Hey, the movie I'm
Just
talking
took too
about
long while
is
you
not
at it.
that movie. The movie I'm talking about is Das Boot.
I know which movie
Well,
you're talking
in
about.
rugby,
It would
you
just
shoot the boot,
Okay.
which is you pour beer into a boot
Yeah.
and you drink it out of the boot.
Like a real boot.
It's
This is like an Adam Sandler like
it's
straight comedy.
It's
like,
a comedy.
dumb ass movie.
Oh,
What I'm talking about.
okay.
It's no shoe! It's just boot!
God.
It was on
Okay.
the other night on TV.
Yeah.
I can't think of
Was it? Yeah, I can't.
Hey, I have Sling, by the way. Sorry. I don't pay for y'all's rates anymore, man. It's crazy. But no, man, I appreciate you coming on.
I really
Had a good time,
It was a very
man.
good
Hey,
time.
gotta dap you up right here, man.
Yeah.
Hey, this man right here, Michael
Thanks,
Pratt, one of the best around, man. If y'all have not been a part of Digital Fight Club, man, check it out. Y'all go look at the YouTube shows. Just check it out, man. It's a great source for information, man. CEOs going at it. I gotta go see season 2, bro.
Maybe you'll be a fighter
I have
one
to
day.
figure out.
Yeah.
Hey,
It is.
I'm
it is-
down.
it is
I'm down
awesome.
for the cause. I know he's down for the cause. I know he's down for the cause, especially in that crypto space. Right? So, invite me on. We'll see what happens, man. I'll be
Space,
all right there, bro.
space.
I had,
All
to,
right.
I had to marry my homie one day. Like, that's a challenge right there, bro. But anyways, y'all know what it is. It's Noonish, man. We won't be back next week. This is the
Taking a break.
season finale of season 3. Coming back season 4 here in a few weeks. Jonas is headed out to Greece.
Greece and
Taking a few
France,
pictures of
yeah.
that clear water out there, man. Greece and France,
Yep.
man. MC, he's going around with them Ravens, doing what he's
Actually,
doing.
I'm going to see my son play.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in Florida
Oh.
next week. Yeah.
Nice, man. Hey, enjoy, bro. I know
For
it's
sure.
gonna be a good time. So my son pancaked like 20 guys people last night, bro.
Yeah.
Like no exaggeration.
Oh.
Like we went out and had a good time.
I had a thought.
Bro.
They got the good players.
Hit 5 yards through him. They still lost by 16, but hey, he
Whatever.
got his
He
in.
got it
bro.
working.
He got his in last
That's
night.
awesome.
But no, Michael, really enjoyed you
Yeah.
coming on, man.
I
Yeah,
did too.
thank you
Maybe
very
bring
much.
you on later on,
That was great.
another time. But we will see y'all in a few weeks, man, for episode 1 of season 4 of Noonish, but still same thing. Peace.
Peace.
I feel like I'm the last man standing. 4-5, sitting on my dresser like a bandit. Oh my, why you scared? There ain't no need to panic.